This my first my first like image of that is, you know, like you're sitting at a literal desk. You know? And so it's like, what does it entail? Like, how do you do the things? Like, what does actually being mayor mean?
Right. That's a great point, and I want to come back to the desk because that's when we think of the politician or like the office of the president of the United States. You think of the Oval Office and the desk. Boy, I want to move away from that image. I'll come back. I'll come back to that in a little bit. Well, what is the job of a mayor? Surprisingly, I've been asked that a number of times, and I think it's easy to assume everyone even knows what the job of a mayor, a city council member, or who even the vice president is. I mean, that's just the reality. So it's upon me to help explain that. There's a 41-page document called the City Charter. Think of it as our local constitution that has many of these are laws, and many of them are even laws that the citizens and the residents of Colorado Springs have said, this is what we want, including in 1979, we moved to a nonpartisan race. That's really important for people to know, that the office of the mayor is supposed to be nonpartisan.
And that's like in the...
It's in the city charter.
Oh, wow, okay.
Actually, every candidate is supposed to submit a sworn affidavit to the city clerk, who oversees our city election, that we're not endorsed by a political party.
That's interesting. Okay.
And here's why this is really important, Andrew, for all our listeners and everyone watching is city flourishing, city advancement, city growth should not be a partisan issue. So the office of the mayor should not be about politics. It should be about you putting the citizens first and the residents first. So the city charter in the 41-page document outlines what the job of a mayor is, including the city clerk, city council members. And part of my job is to be the chief executive officer of the city and run a really great city. I am supposed to ensure that our roads are kept, our neighborhoods are safe. I'm supposed to ensure the well-being of all residents. And I say that in addition, so this is my addendum to the city charter document, I feel like the office of a mayor has natural influence and actually has natural power. And I want to use that for the good of Colorado Springs residents.
Yeah.
So what that means is, leaning into all the right issues and conversations and joining the chamber in economic development and being the lead recruiter of great businesses and great talent. And because sometimes, no one other than the mayor of a city can call that person, that influential person, and they're going to pick up. I was speaking to a group of leaders this week, and they asked, what's the biggest thing that you're noticing in this season of campaigning? And I said, the biggest shift for me is I call people, and it doesn't go to voicemail anymore. People answer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I don't even have the job yet.
Yeah.
So that goes back to my earlier point about, using the campaign itself as an opportunity to move the city forward. And leaders will pick up and say, and sometimes leave conversations and meetings and say, hey, Yemi, what do you need? And that's a type of influence the mayor's office carries to move, flourishing, and thriving forward for all people, is that I'm able to have those phone calls with local people. I can call local pastors and CEOs and business leaders to the table and say, we're going to tackle this problem together. It's one of my biggest strengths is that it's a unifier of people and collaborator of people. So let me end with the office, the desk.
Yeah, yes.
I do not like that image because what that means is me. That means me being at my office in a city government space and asking people saying, if you want to meet with me, come to my office. That can
sounds
feel
boring too.
It's boring. It can feel intimidated. What I plan to do is what I've always done, to go to people. I do plan on doing business walks. And what business walks are is, taking time to go from business to business and hearing from people, making yourself accessible. Instead of saying, business leader, schedule time, come meet with me. I'm going to schedule time to just show up and say, hey, how you doing? Give me some feedback. How can we serve you better? So if you go on my website, yemiformayor.com, and my policy of economic and affordability, it uses the language, I want to champion a human-centered economy, and that is putting business leaders at the center of the decision-making process. So the needs, the challenges of the business leader, of the business owner, of the worker will be the focus of how we help determine how we make decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah.